Hi, Leon.
Hello, Justin. How's it going?
I believe we're at the end of the conference. So, the fact that the storm did not take out my internet and people learned about web components and accessibility and new releases, I'm feeling pretty good about things right now.
Yeah, it's been a brilliant couple of days. And if anybody wants to ask us any questions about the conference or anything, please do that now, and we'll answer the questions after me and Justin have ranted a little bit. I've really enjoyed the last couple of content has been amazing. So thank you so much to all of the speakers for taking the time to come and talk to all of us. It's been absolutely incredible. And I'd just like to take a few minutes just to kind of talk about the remote conference thing in general. Like, as a remote, you kind of expect the whole experience to be quite impersonal, we're thousands of miles away from each other. But I think it's actually been quite the opposite. And in some ways more so than a physical conference, because in a physical conference, you can't talk while the speakers are giving their talk, where here you can. So there's been lots of really great in-context chatter in the chit chat. It's been an amazing thing. So it's really kind of quite personal, even though we're so far away, alone in rooms by ourselves and things, which has been absolutely brilliant. So I wanted just to mention that. That was great.
Yeah, the conversations on the side chat as we were switching roles back and forth, trying to sort of manage everything that was happening in the background. Some great conversations, and thank you to those of you out there who were pinging us on Twitter and sort of contacting us through a myriad of sort of ways that we had to contact us. Thank you. We appreciate those comments and questions. Really, it's turned out nice. Like, we should point out too, Leon and I have been working on testing this for weeks, and we thank the speakers again for all the effort and stuff they put into it. Not only just their talks, but working with us to make sure all the software worked, to make sure that time zones obviously were an issue. Thank you, Trey, for staying up into the middle of the night in Australia. So really, thank you. And thank you to all attendees who made it that way. It helps when you want to have a conversation and we get to talk about cool web standards and the things that are happening.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, the quality of content as well has been brilliant. I mean, I think at least 3 speakers wrote their slides in web components, which is just incredible. And another thing, obviously one of the features lacking in Crowdcast was the full screen feature. Somebody actually, I can't remember the name, sorry about that, actually pasted some JavaScript in the chat so you could get the full screen feature during a talk. I mean, how amazing is that? That's what the developer community is all about. It's awesome.
You gotta love developers. The problem's not solved. I'll solve it now. Yes, yeah. This is the way things. This is the way open source works. This is the way. I feel like if I could fix my house in the same way, that broken light switch would work. I'm sorry, I'm digressing now. It is a Friday here where I'm at. It's still Friday where you're at.
Yeah, just a few hours off.
You're a few hours away from Saturday.
Yeah, well, another thing is I think, we'll probably be doing some follow-up episodes on the Web Platform podcast. So make sure everybody checks that out. We'll get some speakers on if we can and talk about some of the great topics that has been, throughout the last couple of days. But before we go, if we could just talk about some takeaways. So, what were your takeaways of this conference, if you can think of any on the spot? I mean, I know there's loads, but is there any you could think of?
Oh, geez. Well, accessibility is a big thing these days for me. I know I've been working on that on the web component side a little bit too, particularly with municipals and trying to make sort of those sites, just more accessible to the general citizens of the world who are using them locally and, at the state level here in the States. So I think that resonated a lot with me. Rob's talk at the end. Elix, it looks amazing that Jan is working on it. I know he was really excited to come on and talk about it today. And I was excited to hear it. Like, the repo's been sort of sitting there and, mix-ins I think are a big deal, but there was just so much good content. It's really, I think if anything, the one main takeaway I'm going to take is that for all the horrible things you hear, a lot of times when, the bad sort of, I don't like web components, there is so much cool stuff going on.
Yeah,
and it's so widespread. It's not just one thing. It's a whole host of things that make the ecosystem as a whole better, whether it's reactive JS, TypeScript and web components, just Skate or Polymer. Like, there's just so much. And that, to me, as someone who architects systems and builds things for other people, is a big deal because not every system is the same, and the way you approach problems is not, one solution does not fit all. So to see so many different approaches that have major takeaways, like that's a big thing for me. How about you? What did you see that you were like, yes, that is the thing?
Two things mainly. The first thing is the web components community as a whole. I mean, I don't know about you, but when we started this, was always that thing in the back of mind: is web components big enough yet for a conference? Is anybody going to turn up? And obviously, the conference has shown that a lot of people are really interested in it, want to learn more about it, and that's absolutely brilliant. So that's a huge takeaway for me. And the other thing, I think one of the main takeaways for me is the gold standard that Jan introduced. In fact, a few people have over the last couple of days. That the concept of building really high quality web components that everybody can reuse. Some of those really specific mixins that Jan was showing there is that takes a lot of time and a lot of hours that a lot of small businesses won't be able to put the time into. And it takes a large number of developers and a large amount of hours to build these high quality gold standard web components, and the fact that people will be able to reuse those and get the benefit and from that time being put in is a huge thing. And as a community, we can build these things with the Elix project and stuff like that, and then everybody can benefit from it, and that's really good to see.
Yeah, and I feel like I also mispronounced the name of that project, because if I'm going to end well, I'm going to end by mispronouncing something for the 35th time in the last 2 days. But yeah, there were just so much good takeaways. And speaking, of takeaways, as an attendee, all the videos should now readily be available, by the way. So if you want to go back through and rewatch talks to look for more takeaways that you want, they are there, and you have access to them going forward. We will eventually move them onto YouTube to wide open them as well. In a few months, probably a couple months, we've got to sort out the logistics on how we're going to do all of that still.
Yep.
But we want to try to make that content spread as far as we can, and we can do that just because of you, because you all attended and helped us not only through a great conference, but allows us to donate to a great charity with Girls Who Code. Just so many good things happened with this, and I'm I'm generally pretty happy about it, and I know you are too, Leon.
It's been brilliant. And just before we kind of finish up, one last shout out to our sponsors: Common Time Limited, commontime.com, Stickman Ventures, stickmanventures.com, Carfax at carfax.com, and of course the podcast, the Web Platform Podcast, at thewebplatformpodcast.com. Go and check that out.
Yes, and come listen to us mispronounce other people's names. Mostly me. I apologize. I'll work on it. It's in my resolutions for, well, probably forever, because what else should we talk about? What else should we close up with, kind sir?
I think unless there's any questions from the people that are watching, I'm all out. I'm really excited about the future of web components and the great community around that. So
and I think actually we should thank one more person who's not on the live stream with us right now, but we should thank Eric Eikenson, who I did.
You can't pronounce names, can you? Eric Isaacson. Thank you very much. This was his idea. If it wasn't for him, this wouldn't have been possible.
Yes,
so thank you ever so much.
Yes, kudos to Eric. We appreciate for you setting up so much of this. As we just tried to bring it home. So hopefully we lived up. So with that, I say we wrap up, Leon.
Yep, sounds good to me. Thank you again, everybody involved. It's been absolutely brilliant.
And this is the Web Components Remote Conference signing off. And I forgot that I have the green button to stop it. Thank you.
Perfect ending.